In this video, I want to break down the ins and outs of how we scaled a Google Ads campaign from £3.2 thousand per month to doing over £45,000, about $60,000 in around 6 months, okay? And yeah, I'm gonna break down everything, the campaign strategy that we used, what the campaigns look like inside, so that you can replicate this for your own e-commerce Shopify brand, whether that's dropshipping or branded e-com. Google Ads is still, in my opinion, the most consistent and most profitable channel when it comes to paid advertising. So without further ado, my name is George. I run the Paid Search Company, which is a Google Ads agency for Shopify brands. We're managing around 500K plus per month in Google Ads spend, and I am making these videos to help you scale your brand with paid ads. Now, if you're interested in grabbing our 7-figure Google Ads swipe file with a bunch of different examples, you can do that in the first link in the description. Otherwise, let's jump into the video. So as you can see here on my screen, we are looking at November the 1st to November the 30th. This was when this Google Ads account was pretty much created. More or less, I think they created it in September, October time, so it hasn't, it hadn't been live for too long, but either way, the results weren't crazy. You can see this ridiculous cost per conversion. The truth of the matter is here, guys, none of these metrics were even accurate, right? Because when we came into this account, they were actually, I think, double tracking conversions or double tracking purchases, as well as potentially even tracking add to carts as their primary conversion action, which meant their cost per conversion looked amazing, but they were registering things like add to carts as conversions, things like I think even maybe page views. So it was a little bit silly. Anyway, we fixed all of that and flash forward to the month of June. We had gotten them to, when it loads, £45,000, over £45,000, $60,000 in sales. And this is all accurate. All of the metrics were sorted with a £14 cost per conversion, which for this brand was absolutely ideal. So let's pull back the curtain and have a look at the campaigns we use. Now with Google Ads, your account structure is your strategy, right? So the types of campaigns that you use very much is your strategy. Now I know when it comes to meta ads, things are a lot more simple. You basically just go broad, right? You kind of have one campaign per maybe territory. You set the targeting to broad and you just let Facebook go to work. And really your main focus is just the creative. With Google Ads, it's very different. It's still a very manual process. It involves a lot of media buying. And so the types of campaigns that you use, there's a lot of different campaigns that you can use. And so yeah, the types and the combination of those campaigns informs your strategy. So anyway, I'll stop waffling, let's jump in. So as you can see here, we have 4 campaigns, and to be doing, 47K in conversion value by conversion time. So, well over $60,000 with just 4 campaigns per month is pretty cool. And this really goes to show that you don't need to overcomplicate Google Ads. You don't need 50 different campaign types. You can make a lot of money with just 4 campaigns. So what have we got? We have one Performance Max campaign here spending £390 a day. Now we've actually decreased the budgets since this period. So I think during this period, it was probably spending over £500 a day or something like that. You can see it spent £13,000 during this period, produced 32.6 in revenue at a 2.5x return on ad spend. And we have also excluded brand from all of these PMax campaigns, right? So what does it mean when I say exclude brand? So this is a big mistake that a lot of Shopify brands make on Google Ads. Basically, Performance Max is a very automated campaign type, which means it's pretty much going to go after the easiest sale that it can, so that it looks good, so that you spend more money with Google Ads. You got to remember Google Ads is a business as well. And so it oftentimes actually goes after people who are searching up your brand already, kind of like a branded search campaign would. And so it makes the ROAS look great because those are obviously very easy sales. It's kind of just Performance Max jumping out right before that sale was going to happen organically. And it makes PMax look way better than it actually is doing. So one thing that we do for all of our clients is we exclude brand from Performance Max. You can do that through multiple ways. You can upload a brand list, which is a feature that Google Ads recently in the last few months released. And so you basically submit your brand name to Google Ads, they verify it, and they get back to you, and then you can add that brand list as an exclusion to your Performance Max campaign. Or you can just go to help up here, contact a Google rep or your Google rep if you have one, ask to add your brand name to a negative keyword list, and then ask them to add that negative keyword list to the PMax campaign. Anyway, boring, but that's essentially what we've done. So this 2.58x in ROAS is actually cold traffic, right? Which is awesome. Okay, so yeah, we have this campaign. Now, what does it say when it means index, right? So very simply, these are the best selling products, right? And this is a strategy that we've also implemented for a lot of other brands that we work with. We like to have one PMAX campaign that is for the best sellers. When I say index, that means is on KPI, right? Or is hitting the desired ROAS or hitting the desired goal of the client. So it's at index. And then we have one which we call reactivation, which is focusing on those products that are underperforming or that aren't getting any impressions, okay? And the power of this is that we can set custom budgets, right? So obviously we want to spend a lot less on the products that aren't doing so well, but we can also set custom target ROAS settings on these campaigns, right? So for example, we can have a much higher target ROAS on this campaign than, for example, we would have on the index campaign. As you can see here, the target ROAS is 100% lower, right? So I've just said a bunch of stuff. What does any of that mean? So target ROAS is a bid strategy that you can use with Performance Max. There's multiple different bid strategies: maximize conversions, maximize conversion value, target ROAS, target CPA. Target ROAS is probably the best strategy to use with Performance Max. You only really want to be using it when you have enough data though. So I would highly recommend that you kind of get enough data over a period of 30 days. You've got to be probably doing at least, I would say, at least, multiple sales a day before you transition to TROAS. But then when you do that, TROAS essentially stands for target ROAS, and so you're giving Google Ads a target to hit. So you say if you can't get a customer at 250% ROAS, then basically don't bother. So it kind of sets a target efficiency for Google Ads. And so with the best sellers, we know they're going to perform, which means that we can set the target ROAS lower and be more aggressive and spend way more. But with the reactivation products, we know that they're not going to perform quite so well. We want to set that target ROAS a little bit higher, and so that's why it's obviously spending less in this period. So that's an awesome strategy that I highly recommend that you do. Not necessarily straight out the gate. I always think consolidate data first. I think even for this account, we started with one Performance Max campaign. But when you get to the point where you're spending, over £5,000 per month, so 7.5k USD, I would say, you can do a bit of segmentation. You can keep your existing PMAX campaign, break out and start another one, keep the best sellers in the existing one, start retesting the underperformers in the new one. Okay, data is everything with Google Ads. So make sure that you are spending money and then preserving that data, because money is data. That's kind of how it is. So other than that, we have a branded search campaign, and that is also on TROAS. And this campaign is performing well. At the end of the day, it's just really a defensive campaign. We just have it in the account to defend against competitors. That is really it. Typically, we do run these campaigns on target impression share because that's the most defensive strategy. I think we've just started to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of setting it to TROAS. But yeah, typically we're going to run that on target impression share, which is where you're bidding for ad rank. That's literally all you're bidding for. That's what I highly recommend for all accounts. It doesn't make the ROAS look quite so good, but it does kind of allow the branded search campaign to do what it's there to do, which is, again, just to make sure that you're ranking above the competitors bidding on your brand name, and basically just defend your authority as your brand. And then finally, we have a catch-all shopping campaign, again at a very low TROAS of 100. This is an awesome campaign to have in the account. I really, really like this campaign. I pretty much run it, and my team runs it for pretty much every single account that we have. And so this is basically just a shopping campaign with all of the different products in. And the power of this is sometimes, PMAX is going to miss things, right? Whatever the case is, this is just going to basically catch all of those products and ensure that we are showing up in the auctions with those products. And there are certain products that we just straight up exclude from these PMAX campaigns, and that shopping campaign is there to push them. It also has a huge advantage of giving us search term insights, right? The thing is with PMAX, you don't really get live search term data, whereas with shopping, you can see exactly what search terms have driven conversions, exactly which ones are producing results. You can take that data, add it into your Google Merchant Center product titles to increase more, to produce more sales. You can add it into as keywords into search campaigns, into the PMAX audience signals. There's so much you can do with that data, so it's very, very important. Okay, cool. Let's jump in and have a look around the PMAX campaigns. So as you can see, we are running feed only campaigns, which means that we basically just have a asset group with no assets in, no audience signals, nothing. All we are doing is essentially just pushing the products. And the power of that is that it makes sure that the PMAX campaign focuses on the shopping network, which is by far the highest quality traffic, most profitable channel. I highly recommend this, especially if it's a new account, because if you have a bunch of assets in there, then PMAX is gonna spend more on display, on video, on discovery, all of these different placements, where really you just kind of want all the spend to be going to shopping. So that is the strategy that we're using there. And as you can see for the other PMAX campaign, the reactivation campaign, you can see we are doing the exact same thing. And then as you can see within the actual standard shopping campaign, if we go to ad groups, then we go to product groups, you can see all of the different products segmented by item ID. Again, there's not too much spend on these products because PMAX is taking care of most of these. You can see the item IDs here. They are literally like products, individual products. It's also really important to segment all of these out, which you can do by going to your product listing, clicking the edit here, and then going to item ID and selecting them all, because then you get actual individual product level data, which is really, really useful to see. So that is basically the structure of the account, without kind of going into too much detail, because obviously we want to keep this brand and their products private. That is essentially the strategy we're using. Bestsellers Performance Max, underperformance Performance Max. Again, I would start with one PMAX campaign initially. I mean, if you're from complete zero, I would recommend standard shopping on max clicks. But then once you get a sale a day, launch a PMAX campaign. Once that PMAX campaign gets to, again, doing, I don't know, an additional 50 sales per month, let's say, then it makes sense potentially to segment and launch a new one if you also expect that PMAX to get a decent amount of sales. And then you can kind of have these two PMAX running by side, which we love as a strategy. We also have branded search, of course, and we also have a catch-all shopping campaign. So yeah, you can really do a lot with just 4 campaigns, as you can see, doing well over 47K per month in pounds. And yeah, that is pretty much the breakdown of this Google Ads strategy. Steal it, use it, enjoy it, and let me know in the comments if it gets you the results that we're getting here. Now, if you are interested in us coming in, setting up a system like this within your brand, or scaling your existing Google Ads, then we basically guarantee that you make more money with us. You can quickly book a one-to-one demo call with me, zero pressure, literally just going to walk you through our system and exactly how we get results like this. So if that is you, go ahead and book a call with me. And additionally, if you want to get our 7-figure Google Ads swipe file, you can also click the link in the description. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.